Hey Virgo, I hope you guys are doing great. This is going to be your general life tarot reading for August 1st through the 15th. If you want to skip the card pull and go straight to your message, feel free to click the timestamp in the description box below. Otherwise, let's get started. So, I'm going to first pull a couple of oracle cards just to see what the overall energy is that's surrounding this reading for you all right now. Okay, and we have one that flipped over but didn't fall. That's okay. It's Damara, guiding children. You are good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. All right, so let's grab another tarot or oracle card. And see what other messages, what other energies we have surrounding you. And what we have is regeneration. Okay, so let's get into some tarot. And we'll start first by pulling a card for your current energy. All right, or maybe two cards. What's going on with my Virgo collective? We have the Queen of Swords and we have the Ace of Cups. For what's currently hidden from you, challenges, obstacles. This one, okay, it really wanted to come out. We have the Page of Wands in reverse. For advice from Spirit, we have the Eight of Cups. For potential outcome, that's a lot of cards. We're not going to take all of those. Potential outcome for my Virgo collective, we have the Magician. All right, so let's grab another tarot deck and see if we can clarify these a little bit more. So out the gate, your current energy, the Two of Wands in reverse. For what's currently hidden from you. What don't you know? What doesn't my Virgo collective see? We have the Knight of Swords upright. For advice from Spirit, we have the Three of Pentacles. And for your potential outcome for my Virgos, we have the Princess of Pentacles. All right, so let's get some Lenormand. And we'll get into your reading. So the first one that shot out across the table is Message of Concern. For what's currently hidden, we have Occupation. For advice from Spirit, we have Judication. And potential outcome, we have Mature Woman. All right, so let's get into this, Virgo. The overall energy that we have surrounding this reading is guiding children and regeneration. So it sort of feels like one of two things. So for some of you out there, this might have to do with your career and, very specifically working with children. I don't know if this is something that you've currently been doing or maybe thinking about, but for some of you out there, it almost feels as though this is the energy surrounding this is one of sort of recreating yourself, of sort of changing gears, right? So, maybe you were a corporate trainer or something, and then you have this idea of maybe making content that's like maybe in your area of expertise but more geared towards children or something to that effect. But there's a childlike energy in here, and if you're not specifically working with children, then this might have to do with the attitudes of people around you, that they are a little bit childish, and maybe you're trying to bring them along in some way, shape, or form. But this feels like a very transformative energy. This feels like you are sort of stepping into a new phase of your life where, if you looked at you a year or 2 or 5 ago, it looks completely different. So it feels as though you're taking a new path. You're on a new journey. And perhaps people around you are not being very mature about it and you have to kind of pull them along, or maybe the next iteration of your life actually does involve working with children. But let's get into the tarot and see what other messages we get for you. So looking at your current energy, we have the Queen of Swords, we have the Ace of Cups, we have the Two of Wands in reverse, and we also have Message of Concern. So what this feels like right now, Virgo, is that you are in this energy of being very, very decisive. And not only that decisiveness, but you are taking action on things right now. It feels as though you have your mind made up that you are going to go towards your happiness. You are going to go towards this new phase of life that you enjoy. That's something different from what you've experienced before. This is something that makes your heart sing. And even though it feels like there might be some naysayers around you that are sort of concerned about this new frame of mind, this new phase, this new direction that you were choosing to take, it feels as though you're standing pretty firm in what you've decided you want to go for. But again, I feel like, and I don't want to say negative energy. I don't necessarily think that the people around you are trying to sabotage you. It almost feels as though they've been so accustomed to the person that you have been and the things that you've been doing that they don't quite know where this change came from, and they just want to make sure that it's the right one for you. But ultimately, that's not really for them to say, right? You have to follow your bliss and what your intuition, what the universe, what your spirit guides are nudging you towards, if that's what feels right to you. But not to say that there aren't people around who are a little bit confused and concerned, but you seem to be doing a really good job of sort of holding steady, holding your new path, in your mind's eye and moving towards that. So looking at what's currently hidden from you, we have the Page of Wands in reverse, we have the Knight of Swords, and we also have occupation. So I feel like, again, for a lot of you, this is probably career related or maybe school, but it doesn't feel like a personal relationship or anything like that. I think there seems to be a little bit of worry, right? That this new path isn't going to be what you hoped it would be. That it's sort of fleeting, right? That this new direction will not be sustainable for the long run. I feel like there's, even though you sort of decided on this course, there might be this little nagging feeling like, am I doing the right thing? Is this too drastic of a change? Am I going to be supported by the people around me? How do I bring them along so they can sort of feel the same bit of excitement for me as I do for myself? It feels very much like, even though you are moving forward, maybe some of these questions, some of these concerns, comments, whatever, are getting to you a little bit, and you're trying to figure out how to navigate that. Looking at the advice from Spirit, we have the Eight of Cups, we have the Three of Pentacles, and we have Judication. So what I'm feeling for this is that Spirit is saying, in order for you to sort of leave those little doubts behind, for, these very concerned people to not have, a huge impact on how you move forward, you might have to sort of lay down the law with them. It's guiding children, right? And it's bringing them along, sort of communicating with them in a way that makes sense to them, even though it might not make sense to you. I think it's best to sort of try and get them on your side. Maybe you haven't had the opportunity to sit down and share with them a little bit about what you're doing, not saying that you have to lay your plans out step by step and, put a calendar entry and a reminder that you're doing X, Y, and Z, but maybe just very broadly, very generally, sit down and talk to these folks and say, you know what, I think that this is going to be a really good path for me, and I would appreciate your support. I would appreciate, some encouragement, or if you can't encourage me, just don't say anything at all and let me figure this out. Let me take these steps. So I think, Spirit is saying that give these folks the opportunity to be on your team, to be your support system, to be your cheerleaders. And in the event that that they make the decision to not do that, then walk away. You don't need that type of energy in your life. So looking at the potential outcome, which is awesome, we have the Magician, we have the Princess of Pentacles, and we have Mature Woman. This is your transition complete. With the Magician, we have someone who has all of the tools that they need to thrive in life. This is somebody who can transform. They can make magic at the drop of a hat. You've learned your lessons. You've gone through this evolution into the next phase of your life. You are now that mature woman. And if you're a guy watching this, these cards really don't have a sex to it. So, for the outcome, if you're a mature man, that's wonderful. You've learned your lessons too. You have gone through this evolution. You are at the next level. And what you're starting to build now is that foundation for yourself. With the Princess of Pentacles, this is stability. This is the beginnings. It's not full blown, but seeing as though you're just starting to dive into this transformation, this refreshing of who you are and how you show up in this world. This is you growing and evolving and creating that abundance and that stability for yourself. So good things are coming. And I think that you will have that support system. If nothing else, at a minimum, people will leave you alone. They'll keep their comments to themselves. But I think that once you have this conversation, people will show up for you in unexpected ways. You will guide the children along with you. So let me grab one last oracle card for you and see what final message Spirit has to say. Okay. Look what came out. Rejuvenate. So you have transformation all over this reading. You have regeneration. You have rejuvenate. You have the Magician. You have all of that. This is nothing but transformative energy. This is you starting to shape your life. This is you being decisive and moving forward and telling other people, are you with me? Because if you're not, I'm going to have to leave you behind. You can't come on this journey with me. So good for you, Virgo, and all of your transformations and your reformations. This is good. This is the start of something amazing. So I'm going to leave it there for you. I hope that this was helpful and I hope that it resonated. If it did, make sure to like, share, subscribe. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, and I am sending you all huge hugs.